Welcome to the Honda Center in Anaheim. Tonight, the Blue Jackets are going to wrap up their California road trip with a game against the Ducks, first meeting of the year between these two clubs. Jody, Shelley, last night in San Jose, the team had a good push early. They had a good push late. We talked about that last night. Looking back on it after a couple of hours, how should they feel coming into this game?
You know what? They've just got to reload here. I think that they've got a day to think about it and get ready to get to action. There were some good points of that game they have to take away from it. Sergei Bobrovsky played very well and gave them a chance to win. Specialty teams didn't execute the way they should have last night. Those are big opportunities, and they've got to keep it simple, keep it going north and south. If they get going east and west against the Anaheim Ducks here in Anaheim, they're going to find trouble. So try to frustrate them by playing just a simple, straight-ahead, hard-nosed game.
Now, last night, Martin Jones was good in net for the San Jose Sharks, but Blue Jackets head coach John Tortorella says his team is just not doing enough to generate offense.
We just have not been consistent enough with our offensive forecheck and having the puck offensively. Do I think we played poorly? No. I thought for a lot of the minutes we were right there, but we're just not sustaining enough offense.
And Jody, when you talk about trying to get more offense, and we can break down the millions of ways you got to get the puck to the net and all that stuff, but you can also make personnel changes. And there is no morning skate for the Blue Jackets today, so we won't know until right before game time what John Tortorella is going to do. But you have options. They are somewhat limited, but could this be a day we see a Sonny Milano come in? Could this be a day where maybe a Dalton Prout comes out and a Scott Harrington goes into the game? Could this be a day we see a different goaltender?
Oh, he's got the options, and I'm sure he thought about it last night on the short flight from Northern California down here to Southern California. And they'll look at Bobrovsky, see how he feels today. That could be one adjustment. I don't think so, though. And then up front, yeah, you could see Milano. We'll see what happens. I think the forwards did a pretty good job last night. I know they're looking for offense, but the group that was in last night knows what they have to do.
Lucas Sedlak was in last night, and he admitted after the game he didn't play his best game. However, he did pick up his first NHL point.
Yeah, well, I handled the puck there on the blue line, and I was a little bit struggling there with that. And then I just passed it to Hartsey. He made a great play on the blue line, and then I just went to the net, tried to tip the puck, and Hartsey put it in.
You know, and Lucas did a good job last night. He played just over 8 minutes, but when he's on the puck, he's got strength on the puck. He's got a certain skill set that he can help out his line mates. I liked him and Scott Hartnell in that late push. You know, he's a kid that got his first point. He's excited about that. But I love how he's ready to get back at it here today.
In talking about the importance of winning this game, it sure would feel good if you could get a win here tonight. You fly home tomorrow. You have the day off on Sunday. Don't play until Tuesday. They're kind of back to where they were at the beginning of the year, aren't they? After they lost the first two, had a stew on it for a week. You're at that tipping point. You either feel really good for a couple of days or it bugs you for a couple of days.
Well, it bothered them. It bothered Captain Nick Foligno not to get that win in L.A., only get 1 point. So that was a good sign for me. Last night they were frustrated with that loss. This is going to be an urgent team here today in Anaheim. This is a big game, like you said, to end the trip. You know, right now they're sitting at 3 out of 6 points. They want to make sure they get to 5 out of 8 and go home and get ready for the next week.
Let's talk about the Anaheim Ducks. This team is on a roll right now. They're winning games. They're putting up a lot of goals in some of those games. And they may or may not have Ryan Getzlaf. He has been injured, but they will have Corey Perry in the lineup. They do have Cam Fowler, even though they've talked for months about trading this guy away. Yeah. He's back there on the blue line playing. And then you've got other guys that don't get talked about much. One of those is Jakob Silfverberg, who had 2 goals against Nashville just a couple of nights ago.
Well, that's something about this team. They've got very mobile defense. They've got defensemen that are up the ice all the time, and they like to play the physical game. So you've got to watch him back there. He's an offensive threat, obviously, and really brings a different dynamic. Seems like we talked about that a lot with these teams so far this year. And then Corey Perry, I mean, he's that complement to Ryan Getzlaf, but the other night against Nashville, they threw in 6 on them, so they didn't really miss Getzlaf. But he is a leader. There is a hole there, and the Blue Jackets have got to watch Perry. And then Cam Fowler, yeah, he's another defenseman. Stay at home. He's a physical player who also knows how to work with the puck. The Blue Jackets are going to have their hands full here tonight, but there's nothing too tall for them. They can be ready. They can be prepared and take down this Anaheim team.
As we talk about all these teams that have the defense that is very active, and you look at that Blue Jackets core and you see what they're doing over the course of this trip and how they're getting more and more confident when they have the puck, I'm hoping that it's at some point this year that we're talking about that defensive group just the way we've talked about some of these other ones on this trip.
Well, when we walk into buildings on the road, there's a lot of questions and positive comments about our defensive core here with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Seth Jones is a big part of that. Werenski's a big part of it. Then you got the two guys, the workhorses, in Jack Johnson and David Savardo out there all the time. So those four are really carrying the weight, not taking anything away from Nudavera and Prout, but those guys are out there all the time. They're making some noise in the league, and they're nice compliments to this team, big parts of this team right now.
All right, that is tonight. It's the Blue Jackets and the Ducks, 10 o'clock start. Jody's got it on Fox Sports Ohio. I've got the game on the Blue Jackets radio network, and you're probably very happy to see it's not very sunny here in California today. It's overcast. It's terrible. We'll be coming home tomorrow. That'll do it for today's Rink Report. For Jody Shelley, I'm Bob McElligott. Enjoy the game.